Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Miss Mambo and I'm your psychology teacher for AS and A level. So today we're going to be doing approaches and research methods. So what is psychology? So psychology is the study of the human mind. So according to psychology, the human mind can be studied by 4 approaches. So we have the biological approach, learning approach, social approach, and the cognitive approach. So in the biological approach, we assume, according to psychology, that any psychological disorders is caused by genes and neurotransmitters. So in the gene category, the genes is whereby you are deriving DNA from your parent. So if your family has history of schizophrenia, it is likely that you can get schizophrenia as well. And in the neurotransmitter, so the neurotransmitters have something called dopamine. So if you have dopamine, you are likely to be happy. So if your brain lacks the neurotransmitter dopamine, then you can have a psychological disorder called depression. And in the learning approach, it assumes that our behavior is changed based on what we learn. In the social approach, it assumes that our behavior is changed on what we learn in society. It can be either from your family, your friends, or your peers. In the cognitive approach, it assumes that your subconscious or your conscious teaches you stuff, right? So if your brain and you can't process some of the stuff in your brain, like you can't, you lack something in your, you lack impact from something in your brain, like being happy, or you lack a transmission from your brain to you for something that makes you be able to communicate properly with other people, that can cause a psychological disorder. So now, in order for us to understand these approaches and be able to break them down, we need to do research. Like any psychology is a science, so like any other science thing, we have to do research first. So we have 4 research methods. We have experiments, observations, case studies, and self-reports. So in an experiment, right, there is an investigation for a variable called an independent variable and independent variable. So in an experiment, we're looking for a cause and effect. So the cause is the independent variable and the effect is the dependent variable. And in the self-reports now, a participant is giving us information directly. It could be either in a questionnaire or in an interview or any other thing that gives us personal information. And on the case studies now, we are doing research in depth, right? So we do a research on either a person or a group. And sorry, I swear. So can you cut that out? Okay. And then we do another research called observation. So in an observation, we can be observing either a person or an animal. So what we do, right, is that we make sure it can be in a natural setup or a controlled setup. So in a natural setup, we go in a natural environment whereby we go to their space and then we observe them and how they do their daily routines. And then in a controlled setup, we take them in a controlled setting like a lab, and then we make sure that we are observing them in a setup where we control the variables, the ones that we mentioned, independent and dependent variables. So in our next video, we're going to be mentioning how this can come about and the case studies that have been done, or the experiments that have been done, or self-reports, or observations that have been done.